I'm taking it all. Whoops. Okay, so are all the pants the same? All the pants are the same. Guessing all the boots are the same too. All the boots are the same. Let's just leave on the towel. Let's just kidding, we're not doing that. Not that it matters, I'm going with the one with the most durability. We'll just do that. Yeah, Letho was the assassin. Yeah, I remembered that much. But that's basically it. I couldn't remember who any of the others were. I recognized their name, just not who they were. I'm sure he would like if I talked to him, but... A sword for witches. Who are the hunters, you ask? Folk like you and yours, I replied. The decent kind, haters of lies, doers of good. The kind who live according to the gods, laws, and nature's laws too. Those disgusted by the machinations of witches, wickers, and non-humans. All that separates us from the common folk is we've the courage to take up arms. To defend our lands from evil, to slice out the gangrene that eats us from within. We haven't a leader. We haven't forts or lands. Though God's fearing Radovid supports us with his gold at times. We've not sworn him nor any other ruler any oath. We serve only the eternal fire, and we listen only to our own conscience. Who can join us? Any who is right of soul and sound of body. You can find us in every larger city in the north. We will give you board, lodging, and a weapon. We will explain how to spot the telltale signs of evil, birthmarks in strange and arcane shapes, smooth skin on a matron aged more than 30 springs, and black cats kept in the yard, to name a few. We will show you how to defend yourself from witchcraft, how to tame and snuff out magic elements with Demiritium. There we go. We will instruct you how to squeeze the sinner's darkest secrets out of them with a hot iron, and how to grant them cleansing death with the help of sacred fire. Oh yeah, those guys sound cool. Not really. They sound like bad news. Hey, Gemini Star, how are you? Oh, gnomish prankings. Scrub the greasings from a dog's ear, soak into cotton twine, place in a new lamp of greenish hue, and set said lamp betwixt an eager crowd. Forsooth shall they swear that a dog's head they behold, and this shall be no sorcery but good betidings. For the prince of Elander's nuptials, a paltry gnome armed with a miniature cutlass behind himself in a pie. Then Guess partook of the princely bouquet. Anon jumped out, and the Besabred gnome, giving a terrible fright to all at first, then causing much merriment once the jest was figured. Dude, some of these words are a mouthful. A cynocephalus, or a dog head in our tongue, a beast that in the waste of Zangobar dwells as the corpse of a man, but the head of a dog. The Prince of Eladar did receive such a specimen from those far-off lands. The cynocephalus lets stream its urine with the tolling of every hour, both day and night, and this is why the Zangabarians engrave its likeness on timepieces and compasses. What?
A shame I have no time.
So much. So many big words. What are they doing to me right now? Oh my gosh, okay. Alright. I need a drink. You found out that your truck won't be done until Monday. Yeah, it's really bad timing to get your stuff into places. Hopefully that's not like a super big inconvenience for you. The opposition in Nilfgaard. While Nilfgaard's emperor wields absolute power, harshly crushing the slightest sign of disobedience, opposing forces continue to exist within the empire. By this I do not mean the disgruntled leaders of conquered provinces, but the magnates within the city of 1,000 Towers who are unhappy with the current leadership. This conflict between the emperor and the noble houses of Nilfgaard, the capital, dates back many years. All the princes of the blood and magnates expected their ruler to wed one of the daughters and sire an heir with one of their own. The emperor, however, had other plans. This proved a slap in the face for all of the great families from which he refused to take a bride. The Nilfgaardian opposition politely waits for the emperor to slip up for some event to occur which will weaken his authority. Be it an economic crisis or a defeat in battle, a secret conspiracy lies ready to seize such a moment to incite the disaffected, assassinate the emperor, and carry out a coup d'etat, culminating with one of their own number ascending to the throne. For obvious reasons, only a limited few know of this conspiracy, but any shrewd observer of Nilfgaardian politics can read the signs of its workings. So long as men are men and the world as it is, certain dynamics will forever remain the same, and the discontent will always form subversive societies with the secret signs and hidden agendas. Okay, well. Secrecy, secrecy, secrecy. And they're throwing all the books at me. The Chronicles of Redania. Ridank the Elf. Despite what one might conclude from this moniker, not one drop of elven blood flowed into King Ridank's veins. They called him the Elf because of his exceptional beauty and for the great admiration he felt for the Ain Sidhe. His fascination, seemingly harmless, would have horrible long-term consequences. King Ridank, every time I read that word, I just stumble. Spitting in the face of all laws and customs, chose his wife, a half-elf, and one of low status at that, known as Beatrix of Kovir. The fruit of this regrettable and short-lived mesalliance was Falka, who later fomented bloody revolt against her own father. Though this uprising was ultimately extinguished and Falka herself burned at the stake, the young state was thereafter thrown into chaos for years to come. I've got a lot of words to learn in this game, in this world.
Vedimi, directly out of Northern Tales. Who conceived?
I wonder if there's a lot of copies of books, or if we gotta pick them up as we go. The wonders of Zerrikania. During my many travels, I have seen countless extraordinary places. The primeval wilds of Brokilon, with trees so high their tips disappear in the clouds, dwarven chambers carved into the guts of the Mahakam mountains, and with walls plated in pure gold. The ice palace of Point Vanis, adorned with stained frost windows. Yet none of these are made such an impression on me as the rightly famed Zerrikania. Yet while I was traversing the fiery mountains, I feared disappointment awaited me on the other side. I had heard many fantastic tales about Zerrikania, about its trackless sands, burnt white by the sun, its golden-scaled dragons weaving their nests amidst the dunes, its hunchbacked horses able to survive weeks without even a swallow of water. Yet none seemed to me at all plausible. I was sure all these sensations were but a figment of some bard's overactive imagination. I know this will be as hard for you to believe, dear readers, as it once was for me, but all of those unbelievable tales are true. Not only that, during my many months of travel, I came across wonders far surpassing those of any prior travelogues mentioned. I saw temples dedicated to the worship of dragons. I heard their voice, almost human, but reverberating with 1,000 echoes. I met warrior maids clad in leopard skins, tattooed from head to foot, and giving no ground to witchers in mastery of the blade. I saw mages who channeled power from fire. I seamlessly harmless flies whose solitary bite would make a man fall into a deep slumber, never awake save to die. In short, Zerrikania is a land where the fantastic is normal and the impossible occurs daily. That place sounds awesome. Not somewhere I'm sure I would want to go, but if I could go, there is Geralt. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Black suits the gentleman. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
It'll do.
Studded doublet and a sword on my back. That's what would satisfy me. But tough when in Nilfgaard.
Yes.
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough. The gentleman is to stand before the ruler of the North and South. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
Confirm away.
Please watch. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will rehearse. Lacking fluidity and grace, but we've learned to expect less of Nordlings. Come with me.
I don't know if I'm gonna like these people. Don't talk down to me.
The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and you...
Hello, the Narnia. How are you?
Your arch magnificency.
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect. Imgrimi et art ketzer.
Happy New Year's.
Aden in karn eb marvut. Emir var emreis.
And I'm doing great. Enjoying the don't bow. Let's enjoying this fantastic game. I'm not gonna bow to you.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer ep do orde.
Welchen Namen? Wat gern favor?
And that's what I'm excited about. So many people love this game, and I don't know how this is my first time actually playing it.
So many months of Foltest court. Yet you still haven't mastered the basics of etiquette.
Know what they say? Can't teach an old wolf new tricks. Take it you didn't summon me to reminisce about the good old days, so...
Silence. My daughter Cirilla, she's returned. And she's in danger. The Wild Hunt pursues her. You will find her and bring her to me.
Are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Do you believe I drag you here in the middle of a war to discuss a rumor?
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be. I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30? So why me?
You know why. Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless. If for no other reason than because I shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
Very, very far. Okay.
Save your generosity for those whose homes your armies have razed. I'll do it for Ciri, not for your gold.
Your motives do not interest me. Only results. Yennefer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Mererid! Take him to the sorceress.
This game's so well done. How many years ago did this game come out? Man.
Did the gentleman not understand? Did I not emphasize adequately that one must bow to the Emperor?
Relax.
I have the DLCs.
To the gentleman. But I shall be punished.
How?
Please keep close and bother no one. We've had enough breaches of etiquette for one day. And it's past noon.
Come,
What? Do you know who you're talking to, soldier? I'm Herivard II, Prince of Elandel. Not only am I made to wait here like some supplicant.
Raadsleden enicht estun is
Minter me
aan
tegen.
neervaart.
Yeah, what a game.
Is maar spreken.
I can already tell that it definitely deserves all the awards it got over the years.
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Sharpened yet? Yes? Then transcribe. The true authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants guild, but the church of...
Alright, what shall become of Temeria? Temeria, a land where milk and honey once flowed. And what did she wrong the gods that they should treat her so cruelly? The Pearl of the North to some, she proved a galloping range for Nilfgaardian cavalry to others. As a country, it had survived 2 previous wars against the Empire. It was here that the war's bloodiest battles were fought. It was in Temeria where their most bestial deeds were wrought. It was Temerian civilians who bore the full brunt of these wars' horrors. And bear them we did, bravely and steadfastly, until the demise of our great protector, King Foltest. Then Providence turned its fickle face from Temeria. Murdered most treacherously, Foltest failed to leave Temeria a worthy successor. And so all manner of curse soon fell upon her, tearing her apart like so much carrion. She had no more allies then. None remembered that we had once been the armor protecting the north from the designs of the Mad Dancer, he who had the gravestones of his foes pounded into a ballroom floor. A free and independent Temeria is no more. A dark-faced sun looms over her every rampart. Yet we Temerians live on, and always will, as long as folk believe the usurper who took our beloved capital, Vizima, to treat as his property will forever peer over his shoulder in fear. For in the shadows lurks not one dagger, but the power of a nation of daggers waiting to deal justice's blow. Nice. What's that?
At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare
Not by saying, you know, what
triplicate.
DLC and stuff you're on. If you're not spoiling the direct story for me, I'm not worried about it, guys.
Directly out of northern tales. Who conceived?
A portrayal of the elder races. What is a non-human? The answer is simple. As the very name suggests, it is something which resembles and yet nevertheless is not a human. Though it walks on two legs, speaks a tongue similar to our own, and dresses in a similar attire, it all the same has more in common with base beasts than noble man. Dwarves are like moles. They feel best underground and avoid direct sunlight. They like to live in filth, forever smudging themselves in mud and slime. They love everything that can be found within the earth. Rocks, metal, minerals of all shape and color. It is also said that, like their kindred moles, they feed most readily on worms, roaches, and other night crawlers. I wonder how much of that's true, because, I mean, we already met one. He didn't seem like he minded the sun. Halflings, for their part, are more reminiscent of gophers, fat, lazy, and loud in the typical rodent way. Their minds are filled only with thoughts of food and drink, which they steal from other nobler beasts and greedily squirrel away in their hovels. They are marked by a cruel craftiness. You could be dying of hunger and they would not share a meal with you. You could be howling from poverty and they could be swimming in gold, and yet they would still fleece you to the last crown. You could do nothing but good to them and they would still stab a knife in your back. Elves, in turn, seem related to the birds of prey dwell in far-off Zeracania. They care most for colored feathers. They would most readily spend all day staring at their reflections in the water and singing their own praises. They are so awash in self-love that they no longer feel any desire toward members of the opposite sex of their own species. Their appearance, unquestionably pleasant to the eye, is highly misleading. For they are extraordinarily cruel, and any who judge them by looks alone, they first dupe and then kill in cold blood. The best proof of this, the so-called Scoia'tael bandits that claim to fight for freedom, but in truth only long to kill humans. All of these so-called elder races are, to our great fortune, slowly dying out. Joy fills the heart of every right-thinking man at the thought that his great-grandchildren will never know them, that in their day, dwarves, halflings, and elves will be mere fairy tale characters used to scare young, impressionable children. Definitely wrote by someone who's very biased. Still cool regardless. Okay, A Sword for Witches we already read. Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay, Pearls of the North, Novigrad. No one can claim to have traveled the Northern Realms who has not been to Novigrad. If I were forced to list what, during my many meanderings, has made the greatest impression on me, it would be precisely this great and yet at the same time free city. A metropolis worthy of the Empire. Its only flaw is that the civilization Nilfgaard carries within her has not yet enlightened it. That is why hordes of reactionary cultists of the Eternal Fire dwell in the midst of it, the excellent buildings and superb commercial infrastructure. One feels as though superstition is how the local hierarch and his temple guard cement their power over the city dwellers. And many are to control, for the city counts no less than 30,000 of inhabitants. I don't know why I was having such a hard time with that. While strolling through its fabulous port surrounded by marvels of architecture, it's hard to imagine that centuries ago Novigrad was a mere minor elven townstead. When the city fell into the hands of the Nordlings, its problems grew exponentially. For as is well known, the people of the North can do great many things, but peaceful and orderly cohabitation is not one of them. And so Novigrad first belonged to Redania and then fell under Temerian rule until finally, after endless compromises and bargains, it at last became a free city. But is the city truly free? I dare to doubt it. Redanian influence makes itself felt too strongly on every street corner, and the fact that the city located within Radovid's territory speaks for itself. While wandering the city streets, I came across 4 watermills, 8 banks, and nearly 19 pawn shops. There are also a great many houses of simple pleasures such as taverns and brothels, and Novigrad's comment to matters of faith is borne witness to by the fact that the city contains no less than, I kid you not, 19 temples of the eternal fire. That's a lot. What more can be said? I think Novigrad has all the makings of capital of the world, and perhaps that is what it will be one day become. First, however, someone needs to bring order within its walls. Yeah, and I'm trying to, honestly, if I was doing like a solo playthrough where I wasn't streaming, I might not read them because
Shame I have no time.
unfortunately that's how I've been, but I really want to get the lore of this game
Geralt, that
on this
tunic,
playthrough.
You look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emir's court?
And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
Yeah, there may be times where I have to take a break because I've already had to read a ton today. In the first hour.
How about that? She's grown up?
It's been years since you trained together at Kaer Morhen. A great deal has changed.
You haven't? Not a bit?
I missed
Axe.
those awkward compliments of yours. But let's focus on Ciri, all right?
Right. Emir said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
The Wild Hunt? What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I'd prefer not to think about it, really.
So where's Ciri been seen, exactly?
In 2 places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords? Secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
Dang. Things got complicated.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Vel and get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
So many mixed signals, Yennefer. All right. Saying you don't want to hear it, you're kissing me. Come on now.